Alrighty, fanboys and fangirls, mark your calendars. June 11th, the Google Pixel 5a is officially happening. Mark your calendars, boys and girls. Also on today's episode, the OnePlus 9 has been leaked. These are actual marketing images, and I'm going to tell you why everybody's reaction is the way it is about the OnePlus 9. Also in today's episode, the 12.9-inch iPad Pro with mini LEDs is set to be released in late March. I'll explain all the details. And lastly, we will be talking about the new AirPod designs because it looks like the new AirPods are going to be sharing some very similar traits, but things we've discussed in the past. All of that on today's episode, so stay tuned. YouTube, what's poppin'? Michael here, welcome back to Technoid, and guys, no more lapel, no more. We are using an official professional microphone provided by Rode. Of course, they didn't give it to me, of course I paid for it, but it is great to feel a step up in quality. I am so excited. Now I can finally move around without having any wires. Okay, you know what, that's gonna be a weird meme. But anyway, guys, welcome back. It is great to see you all. Again, guys, I'm feeling so excited now that we've got better quality coming to the channel, and we're gonna keep going as the months go on. But anyway, guys, real quick, today's episode is going to be very, very long, so I'm gonna leave timestamps in there where you can watch. And real quick, we gotta do something quick. Guys, my previous episode, I talked about the iPhone 13, and would you believe the king of clickbait, the clown himself, Gordon Kelly, is back at it again with his clickbaiting. Now, you know it is my job to protect you from being fooled by people like that. And Gordon, I thought after all this time, you stayed quiet. I'm like, you know, this guy might be learned his lesson. No, you didn't learn your lesson, Gordon. Instead, you made an article called "The Apple's Massive iPhone 13 Upgrade Suddenly Confirmed." And you know what your source was? Do you know who your source was? Everything Apple Pro. Do I even need to go all out on that? Gordon, you already know where your bitch ass is going on. Boom! So yeah, casual alert. Don't be fooled by casuals, boys and girls. Now, all that out of the way, let's get it going. Alrighty, story number one, the main story. Let's talk about the Google Pixel 5a. Now, as you know, I've been talking about the Google Pixel 6. I've already made a video about that. You can check it out. The Pixel 6 seems to be taking a step back into the flagship realm, and it looks like the 5a is going to stay in its lane, but it's going to be very good at what it's doing. And I think for the purpose of this release, I think that Google has finally decided to go all in on the Pixel 6 or 5. I don't know. We're so all over the place. But it seems that the Pixel 5a is going to be getting its spotlight in June because according to John Prosser, it says here that there is going to be a Pixel 5a event where we will not only see the launch of the Pixel 5a, but we will also see new Pixel Buds. Now again, I'm a huge audio fan, so I will be looking at those Pixel Buds, but taking a look at the phone itself, it seems that it's going to be very similar to what we have currently. However, the difference is this time around is the phone will have a slightly tweaked design. We will see a slightly smaller punch hole. We will see two cameras on the standard edition instead of like what we saw in the previous edition where it was one camera. It will have a fingerprint scanner in the back. It will have a full display. We don't know if it's going to be FHD or FHD Plus. I'm betting FHD Plus. But overall, the Pixel 5a is going to be a step up from the 4a and the 4a 5G. Now, because 5G is already out there and everybody's milking the 5G name, I don't think we're going to see two releases like they did last year. I think we're going to see one where it'll be just the 5a 5G. That's about it. Because when they released the 4a, it was released because it was a 4G variant, and then they're doing a 5G variant. So I don't think they're going to do it again, but if they did, I wouldn't be surprised. But taking a look closely at the articles, we go into more details about the Pixel 5a, and it states here that the Pixel 5a will be released on June 11th, of course, according to John, and that the sources close to him, it will be the main topic of the event. Now, I am hoping that, again, that they really push this phone because they've been doing great with mid-ranges. Mid-ranges have been selling excellent for Google, so if they keep up the pace, if they keep it going, I think they're going to have a really good flowing in the smartphone industry market, especially in the mid-ranges, because flagship, they need a lot of work. But real quick, one last thing to mention, the phone will be sized at 6.2 inches. That has been confirmed by a couple of sourcers inside of the quote-unquote supply chain. So that is it for the Pixel 5a. Let me know your thoughts down below and mark your calendars, boys and girls, because you are not going to want to miss that. Story number 2, let's talk about those new AirPods. Now, as you know, I have already talked about this. We've already seen leaked images from people that have quote-unquote models and case shells. Well, here is a render from a quote-unquote leaker who claims that he got his from a quote-unquote supply chain again, and in his renders it basically is everything that we've seen. And if you really want to see what the AirPods 3 look like, this is it. This is it, people. It is literally AirPod Pros without the tip. It is going to be this. Now, I could sit here and make it a full story, but I'm not going to do that because honestly, we've already known this. So why are people still fantasizing and trying to confuse the lineup? We already know that these are the AirPod 3s. These are refreshing the standard AirPods, not the Pros, the regular, and then the Pros will get their refresh in another time and date. So now that that's been taken care of, let's move on to the next story. Alrighty, story number 3, let's talk about those 12.9-inch iPad Pros. Now, as you know, the push for mini LED is in effect. Apple's supply chain has been ramping up production. They have met the mass production qualities, and the first model that I said was going to start was the 12.9-inch, and according to DigiTimes, it says here that the new 12.9-inch iPad Pro with mini LEDs is scheduled for release in the mid to end of March. According to DigiTimes, the 12.9-inch iPad Pro with the mini display is set to ship early in the second quarter, and it says here that the reason is because Apple is within the next few weeks of April, and they want to get this product out to start the push, but also that the supply chains are ready to meet demands. So this is the perfect timing because we're in the middle of March, we're going into April, we're of course starting a new quarter, but also if we look at the time frame from when Apple does these new launches, we could see a pattern form now. It is usually in March and April. Now, there have been a lot of word about an event, and I think there are a lot of people saying that there will be an event. Well, I don't know if there is going to be an event, and quite frankly, I'm not counting on it, so I'm just going to keep listening to the reports, and hey, if it pops up, it pops up. But the 12.9-inch mini LED iPad is the first of the mini LED lineup, so we're going to see more of this come to those devices, and we'll see how they affect the models, but let me know your thoughts down below. And last story, the OnePlus 9 Pro or OnePlus 9. Now, as you know, guys, my reaction to the OnePlus event and OnePlus themselves has been, how do I put this?
No one gives a no one gives a fuck, Josh.
Anywhere you look on Twitter, anywhere you look on YouTube, everybody is bored. OnePlus has lost their fire. It is official. Now, if anyone out there wants to disagree with that and wants to argue with me and barely speak English, be my guest. I have no problem with that at all. But there's one thing you cannot deny. They are not doing well. And if you don't believe me, I have already covered in many episodes statistically and also studying the market. I have already done my breakdowns. But of course, OnePlus wants to right the wrongs. They want to continue pushing, and it seems like the OnePlus 9 was leaked once again. I swear, every time a quote-unquote leak happens, I literally start to think that it is just a company just leaking at this point. There is no way this was accidental. Come on now. We all know this by now. The stereotype is out there. Hashtag stop the stereotype. Come on now, these are not accidental. But if we take a look at the images, this just kind of confirms what everybody has been saying. There is no surprise. There is nothing to be looking forward to with the OnePlus 9 Pro. The OnePlus 9 phones are supposed to have Hasselblad cameras, which are supposed to be very, very well received. And I think Hasselblad's a very great quality camera set, but again, there's just not enough hype. They're trying to say, oh, you can take pictures on the moon. So what? Like, maybe 1 or 2 year olds could do better than us. But that's not the point. The point is there is no buzz about OnePlus. Their presence in the United States and the American market is non-existent. And I've said it many, many times what they need to do, so I'm not going to open that can, but I'm going to say this. If you really think I'm going to spend my personal time watching the OnePlus 9 event after seeing all this, this is my reaction to you. So, yeah, I'm not wasting my time on the OnePlus event. I don't think anybody should, but you know what? That's just my opinion. If you're going to watch it, go ahead. But honestly, the hype for this phone is really gone. And that's it for today's episode of Technoid. Now, guys, really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit the like button. If you disliked the video, hit the dislike button to help circulate my videos as well. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all on the next episode. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and peace!